What's up, Nuno Nation? How everyone is feeling today? Welcome back to another live stream. Excited to see you all. How everyone is doing today? Beautiful Wednesday. I hope everyone got to the gym today. Super important. You guys know that. Oscar, what's up? Juanito, what's up? Joel, what's up? TikTokers, how you guys feeling today? Nice to see you all. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi, Joan. Nice to see you. Andre, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream. And today will be like a learning thing, you know? We are going to learn all together. What the fuck is skills, man? Because I've been so busy with like everything, like on EU, kind of the full deal, drama and everything, but I haven't actually took the time to learn skills. So I want to kind of spend some time together with you guys, learning what skills are and why should I use skills and, you know, kind of to understand the full drill, you know what I mean? Your hairstyle never disappoints. What do you mean? Is it cool? What do you guys think? All right, from 1 to 10, how cool is my hairstyle today? I don't think it's good. I literally showered right now, so this cannot be good. But let me know. Let me know. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Thank you. Sabrina, nice to see you all. How everyone is doing? Super happy people today. Flying David, nice to see you as well, man. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. Chat, today will be exciting, okay? Today will be exciting. I hope you guys are ready because this will be super exciting today, okay? Let me show you what I've been cooking. Well, not cooking, but what I have prepared for today, okay? So, what I want to speak to you today is about skills, okay? So basically, like, we have skills in Boost, you know, and I think I know what they are, but we are going to find together. By the way, if we have an expert on skills amongst you guys are going to teach me, okay? But what I think skills are is that when you launch an agent, let's say Cloud Code or whatever, okay, and you say something like, can you do this pull request? If you have a skill, which is how to do a pull request, let's say, let's go here. We have a skill or actually, let's do this, okay? Let's do this. And here, this is like a bunch of skills. And one of these skills is how to do a pull request. Cloud Code will automatically check the file named how to do a pull request to actually understand how can you do a pull request with conventional commits and what is the repo and kind of the full thing, instead of guessing, basically, okay? So I feel like, you know, in the past we went all over the place. We had this agents.md with a bunch of shit together and everything, and the agents were loaded with this context without even understanding if they should literally even know all that context. And now they have this directory, this index of skills, which is literally like a library of how to do things. That's for my understanding, okay? This is Sony, by the way, okay? This is Sony. It's 3.5 in my city. What do you mean? Oh, it's 3 a.m.? Oh, fuck, that's a problem. Miluk, what's up to do? How you doing today? Nice to see you all, chat. Nice to see you all. Oh my God, hello world. What's up? So that's what I think skills are. I kind of want to read a little bit. I want to ask Cloud Code what skills are and how different they are from the regular rules.md file. I know for a fact that Laravel Boost now ships with skills as well, okay? And so we are going to learn that too, and why do we even ship with skills support? We have all of that to double check. I also want to double check what is this Vercel skills CLI thing, because apparently, from what I can understand, is that thanks to this library of skills which you can have, there is also people who have developed literally 1,000 open source skills, which you can potentially just have a few. Like here, for example, I can search for browser, and potentially I can have a skill which tells the agent how to navigate the browser. I don't know, you know, why the agent should need that, but apparently we're going to double check today. Lighter context. Yep, Jonito. That's what I think this is about, okay? So I need to learn this, okay? So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the live stream today, but that's the goal, okay? Hope you guys are going to have fun. A lot of people already joining the live stream. Let's always say thanks to our sponsors. Okay, they make this possible. So let's say thanks to Redberry International, one of the best digital agencies working with Vue.js and Laravel. Check them out; they're awesome. Okay, Redberry.international. Of course, Titan. Okay, they build and rescue web apps and development teams. In their team, they have Matt Stauffer, which is the responsible of this beautiful book, Laravel Up and Running. Okay, check them out. Mailtrap, of course. They previously had this local development solution for emails, but now they also allow you to send emails in production. They're awesome. Mailtrap.io, check them out. JetBrains, the company behind the best editor in the entire planet, PHP Storm, okay? PHP Storm for the win. We know how much we love PHP Storm. It's beautiful and we love it, okay? CodeRabbit, of course, CodeRabbit is this company doing AI pull requests through GitHub. They're awesome. They do graphs in your pull requests. They're absolutely awesome. Check them out as well. CodeRabbit.ai for the win, okay? Thanks to our sponsor for making my dream come true. Ba-da-boo, 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 ba-da-boo. Do I need to say the following? I know Josh was promoting a new skills webpage. Oh, really? You mean Josh Siri? Really? Josh Siri skills. Oh, okay. Cannot find anything. Can you guys send it to me, like the link, please? I would appreciate that. Okay, I would appreciate that. Maluk is saying the following: for my understanding, skills don't load skills until you think it's needed. Yeah, that's what, from my understanding, is the same thing. So let's just recap what I think skills are, and maybe like the experts on skills will let me know if this is exactly what you guys think it is. Okay. All right, so let's open here a plain text file. Let's make this 1,000 times bigger like this. So previously we had this thing called agents.md, or we have a bunch of stuff like this, like claw.md and everything like that. Now the problem about this situation is that people keep adding up stuff into this. Okay, so they would add like front end standards. Like how to use JavaScript properly, how to make solid JavaScript, how to make PHP solid as well, how to make whatever solid. And the problem about this is that if you keep adding stuff and you are just doing backend work, all the JS context plus a lot of all the stuff that you don't need will eventually still be loading to the context, okay? So what skills are doing, and you guys let me know in the chat, yes, if you think the skills are literally about this, is that instead of literally having everything in a single file, you are going to have multiple ones, okay? And you call them skills, just like this. Now, these skills will have something like, maybe like a title or whatever, which says GS solid principles, and the same thing for every single one of those skills. And the agent will have access to these titles, okay? In the agent like Cloud Code, Opus, or whatever, will have access to these titles and kind of understand and dynamically load those files individually when you need them, okay? So how close I am to skills. Is this what skills is about? Let me know. Write down the chat yes if this is what skills is about, okay? Yeah, I think skills are just a set of instructions how to load things. Now, what is interesting about skills, though, is that because they are literally single files within a skills folder, I think the community is eventually developing this directory of skills. So here, for example, I can search Laravel and find one potentially. Here we go. I can find the Tailwind development skill, for example, which comes within Laravel Boost, which is interesting. And maybe like even past PHP is here, by the way. Let me see. Not really. Do I find past, maybe? I would have to double check. Okay. Why do you type GS? Why do I type GS? What do you mean? We also use skills to write clean code. Right, because technically you can develop your own skill file as well, okay? So I want to kind of understand this a little bit, and maybe we can just pull one skill locally to see how it goes, okay? So I have found this repo, call it skills literally, and potentially I can use this to install new skills on my project. So here we are in a Laravel project with Laravel Boost, okay, with Laravel Boost, and we see already a skill for past 4 because I have past installed, which tells me that potentially we are going to be able to install different skills here, okay? I want to double check this. Let me see. Let's actually pull like an Anthropic official skill. I'm going to just, search for Anthropic and see how it goes, okay? And see how it goes. By the way, chat, I kind of want to dive into the topics of the moment before we dive into all of this, okay? So let's basically go into my Twitter real quick and just give you some updates on the recent tweets I have done. And starting with this beautiful tweet I have done, which I am really thankful about how awesome the community is. So you guys know that I want to step up in 2026 regarding my streams. I want to make amazing content in 2026. That's why I'm literally doing like a bunch of efforts, which I have talked to you about already. But one of the things I want to do is kind of do these long streams of 48 hours, okay? Literally streaming like, okay, I'm going to develop this Laravel app for 48 hours, and I will be like on this villa with a pool on the background and the barbecue and, ping pong and snooker and everything. And I needed companies to literally be able to sponsor this because I cannot literally just take vacations and, well, I could, but it would just be super expensive for me. So I need companies to be able to sponsor this. And I tweeted about this, and a lot of companies reached out, which is awesome, okay? So you guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for retweeting, for liking, and everything, because people literally reached me out, and they made me offers, and I'm super happy about this. AKA, this is happening, okay? This is happening and very likely to happen more than once. And the goal is kind of going bananas with this, okay? So my goal is like, I want to kind of gamify a little bit development, okay? So I want to have like a villa, like a full house with cameras and everything, amazing lighting, almost like a studio with ping pong, barbecue, a pool, and I can just basically code the app from whatever, and you guys are going to see everything. It will be awesome. It will be people jumping in as well. People will be flying in, and it will be dope. So this is happening. I don't have a date. I don't have anything, but it will be awesome, okay? W sponsors, exactly. W sponsors for the win, okay? Yeah, I will be. This is happening more soon than you guys think, actually, okay? I hate to prepare things like months in advance, so I want this to happen literally like either next month or in 2 months from now. It needs to happen fast, okay? It needs to happen fast because otherwise I just get disappointed and I change my mind. But it will happen, chat, so it will be awesome, okay? Next, what else we have here? I want to chat with you guys about something which I have literally noticed recently. If this tweet loads, it'll be awesome. Here we go. Have you guys noticed, like, recently, a lot of these big services, Cloudflare, GitHub, Anthropic, like, all of these big companies are literally with a bunch of downtime. Have you guys noticed this recently? It is crazy. I literally noticed that GitHub have a 91% uptime in the last 90 days. This is insane. For a service that needs reliability across the world, this is absolutely insane. Now, this is GitHub, but also like things like Cloudflare have been down for a big chunk these last 3 months. But equally, other stuff like AWS, it's kind of insane. You think it's AI? I don't even know what it is, honestly, but it is crazy. Okay, EGL is saying, did you saw the Amazon news? Had a bit meeting due to the amount of downtime due AI changes. Oh, really? So it was AI. That's interesting. Please include Brent. So I reached out Brent already, by the way, because I wanted to fly into his country to do in real life content there. Brent is not up to it, basically. Okay, maybe you guys can convince him on his stream, but I don't think he is up to it. Okay. What else? And yeah, even today I was developing with Cloud Code, and I had, I think it was like 30 minutes downtime on Cloud Code. So Cloud Code was done for 30 minutes literally this afternoon. YouTube chat not showing on screen? I think it is. Sometimes it is some downtime, but it's back. It's back, baby. Chat, don't forget, go all the way down and click like on the video, okay? Insanely important, okay? It would mean the world to me if you could do that. And subscribe to the channel while you do that too, okay? So a bunch of downtime on Cloud Code during the afternoon, which is, kind of makes me feel like useless. When AI is down, I just feel like useless, literally, because I'm so used to this workflow of, developing with AI all the time, and it's just, So EJL just sent me a tweet today. Let me see. Is it safe to open EJL? I hope it is, man. If it's not, it will be a huge problem. Oh, Amazon is holding a mandatory meeting about AI braking systems. The official framing is part of the normal process. Briefing note describes a trend of accidents with high blast radius caused by generated assistant changes. It does not surprise me, but honestly, it surprised me like literally 0%. It does not surprise me at all, honestly. So even though like all of the code I have seen as part of downtime wasn't actually, I think, Duo AI, but well, I guess we're going to find out more about this in the future. By the way, Shed, I forgot to ask how your week is going so far. You guys having a happy week so far? Hopefully, yes. What are you guys working on at the minute? Hopefully some cool stuff, Shed. Let me know. I want to see what are you guys working on. What do I have here? Oh, we have a new, by the way, in Cloud Code. I want to use this today. Which local model for PHP do you recommend? I don't use any local model. I think actually using a local model is a bad idea. Because with a local model, you don't get even a close like inference that things like Cloud Code Opus will give you. You know what I mean? Is anyone here today using local models? Type yes if you are using any local model. Type no if no, because I don't think local models give you, any close good inference. Basically, by inference I mean like actually good results. By the way, I just noticed that is a new, command on Cloud Code. I'm gonna test it real quick. So if I type Cloud here. Can you get familiar with this project? So now I can type, by the way, what this project is coded on. Oh my God, this is actually cool. Yeah, because in the past we had to, no response received. Well, this is working fantastically, Cloud Code. Congratulations. That was my first time trying this feature and it's working fantastically. Good job, good job, good job. Oh my God. Let's see what people are saying. Not a lot of people using local models. It's expected, yeah? Well, Mikey is saying, my laptop is not powerful enough to use local models. I mean, which laptop is powerful enough to use local models? Let's be realistic. Like, I have currently 36 gigabytes of memory, and this is not enough, or not even remotely enough to use like the powerful models. Tech is not powerful enough for local inference. Absolutely. Even though I think PHP Storm ships with a little bit of local inference. Joanna Anito is saying, I'm looking for a new PC for local models. That's actually smart. Even though you need a lot of RAM, exactly. You just need a lot of RAM, basically. Tuaka is saying the following, nope, the cutting edge local models are usable. The cutting edge ones are usable, but nothing below that is good enough, in my opinion. Oh, yeah. You mean like the cutting edge models, like the online ones. Yep. Miluk is saying the following, I'm working with a new LLM, you mean? With AI abilities to help student learning with AI and instructions. Nice. Cool stuff, dude. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I have 36 gigabytes of memory. This is a MacBook as well, MacBook M4. So it's not like I can have more than this. João is saying the following. I'm using Nemotron currently on a dedicated server with 3090. What is even Nemotron? I don't even know. Charlie French Boy saying the following. Nuno, do you know how public code base and real stack with action patterns in the Nuno big things? Well, you can see my starter kit. My starter kit is literally written on the React inertia stack, and it's awesome. Let me see. React starter kit. So, Laravel React starter kit. Oh, apologize. Is this the one? Nope. Laravel inertia React starter kit, perhaps? Nope. What the fuck? Okay, I'm going to just Google it. Nuno Maduro starter kit. Here we go. And this one, we have an inertia React starter kit, which is this one. In this one, you will see a bunch of action pattern situation here, okay? A bunch of examples, okay? I'm going to send it to you. Here we go, Charlie French boy. Enjoy, have fun. Have fun. Alisa Prod, what's up? Nice to see you. Welcome. Search Nuno skill. I don't have a Nuno. Wait, what? What do you mean? Like in the... No, there is no... Maybe there is like a Taylor Otwell skill, though. That would be fun if there is a Taylor... We could build one, though. Taylor Otwell. No, there is no Taylor... That would be dope, though. It's really slow, this website. Oh, okay, it's back. Yeah, there is no Taylor Otwell skill. No. That would be dope, though. Could be a good idea. You're welcome. Oh, the Nemotron model is actually a model from FB4Bit. Interesting. Sabrina is saying the following. I have a pull request for the past browser plugin, and I'm working on adding Xi to Laravel AI kit. Oh, talking about browser testing, I have a few things I want to show you. I just released a new version of Laravel Pint yesterday, and actually allows you to do a very cool thing. Basically, like if you have any unimported class in your project, Laravel Pint will automatically import that class. So something like this, for example, will no longer happen. If you have a fully qualified namespace in the middle of your code, Laravel Pint will now automatically import that class all the way top. Isn't this cool? Come on, chat. It's a 10 out of 10, right? I think it's a cool one. I think it's an awesome one, chat. What do you guys think? So this is already shipped, by the way. Okay, this is already shipped. I did saw, so this is how much work it was. I did saw that a few people were not happy. Well, a few people, like 3 or 4 people, were not happy that this literally is a breaking change. Now, if you guys want to have a very, a very stable preset of Laravel, you guys should pinpoint Laravel Pint. Okay, that's the goal. Oscar is saying try skills.laravel.cloud. Oh, seriously? Skills.laravel.cloud? Oh! What is this? How did what the fuck? An open directory of reusable AI agent skills for Laravel and PHP. Install with a single command. Wow, I literally just learned. Today I've learned. What is all of this? What is all of this? PHP guidelines from Spassy? Oh, wow. Oh, we have a Laravel quality skill. Code quality tooling for PHP stand, Pint, and strict types. Wow. Literally learned architectural testing with past PHP. Oh my god, good stuff. All right, this is badass, by the way, chat. How did I know about this? You guys are awesome. I don't know who shared that. Oscar, thank you, man. Appreciate. You guys want the link, chat? Here we go. I'm going to send you the link, okay? This is cool, honestly. Veltix, what's up, dude? How you doing? All right, chat. I sent you the link. We just learned literally, okay? I just learned that literally you on this repo, there is a bunch of skills. How do I add a skill, though? Like, I'm Nuno. I want to add a skill into this. How do I do that? Is that a login on this thing? Or a register thing situation? That is. Wait, is this route exposed or? How do I add the skill into this? 1 second. I want to make sure that route is actually exposed. How do I add a skill into this? Okay, I'm going to ask Josh Shiri. Oh, was on Laravel News? Let me see. Laravel News, Laravel Skills. Oh, it was. That's how far-fetched I am from stuff. Jesus Christ. There is so many stuff these days. Do you guys feel the same? Like, with AI and AI stuff all the time and new stuff, it feels like every single day there is something new. At least Twitter makes me feel that way. I am the only one here? Or does any one of you actually feel the same? So much to keep up. Exactly, dude. It feels insane, honestly. Like, literally, we had an open directory with AI agent skills, and I didn't know about that. That's how fucking unbelievable things are at the minute. It's just crazy, man, It is crazy. Things are insane at the minute. Like, the world is moving so fast. It's just insane. Okay, some of you were saying that you need to pull request it. Can you elaborate a little bit, please? Where do I do that? What kind of stuff can I use from here, though? Like, let me search for something. Do we have past here? We have a bunch of past stuff here. Modern PHP and shit. PHP 8.6? Who created this? Look at this, chat. Basically, like, master modern PHP from PHP 8.5 to PHP 8.6. Oh, I cannot wait, man. Like, living in the future, this dude. See the docs? Okay, well, I probably should just see the docs, indeed. How to create a skill. Oh, thank you. Skills are markdown based. Oh, this is awesome. But yeah. Create a interpreter with skill.md file and in a skills directory include blah, 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 blah. Oh, just literally automagically? No way that's true. Can't really keep up, really. Dude, for sure, man. I honestly feel the same. It is crazy the amount of stuff we see these days, like online. All right, let's try this out a little bit, okay, chat? Let's see something here we can use. Oh, let's use this one. Okay, chat, I just found something called a Laravel security audit. Let's actually use this one, okay? So I'm going to click on it. And we have, I kind of want to see the source. By the way, something I have learned is that you should be really careful about the things you add to your code base because, I mean, you don't want to add like something unsafe, you know what I mean? So the role is you add a Laravel security auditor, you analyze Laravel applications for security vulnerabilities, misconfigurations, insecure coding practices, think like an attacker, blah, 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 blah. Use these skills when... All right. Yep. So basically, this is like a security auditor, okay? Let's actually use this one. This is a fresh Laravel app, so there is no reason why you should just basically find stuff. But let's see. So I go to the page. So basically, I just clicked here, okay? I'm going to go to my terminal real quick, and I'm going to type PHP Artisan Boost Add Skill, and we have a few things here. I'm going to say yes. So it's saying the following. Let's give Laravel a boost. Skills installed. Enjoy the boost. So now we have this skill, meaning that if I click on skills, I see this skill being installed here. Okay. Nice, cool stuff. Okay. This is kind of crazy though, like reviewing.env, exposure risks. Okay. All right. So how do I try this now? I just say, that's actually a very important question. There is a way of actually triggering a skill automatically. Like if I go to Cloud Code now, can I type like dash skill, for example? List available skills. Oh, interesting. Okay, I have 3 skills available. How do I use them? I'm going to ask Cloud Code that. Okay. I'm going to say the following. I'm going to put this smaller. I'm going to type Claude. I have just noticed you have 3 skills available. How typically things work here? Do I have to trigger it? You just know it? Let's see. Okay, chat, let's see how it goes now. So I'm going to literally ask AI like how these skills are triggered, even though I think like they are triggered if I ask for a security audit, basically. You need to ask AI to use the skill. Oh, that's interesting. GTS Mac, what's up, dude? How you doing? Pick and Flow, nice to see you all. How you guys doing today? Oh, how you doing, Pushback? Nice to see you all. You need to check Slack, Nuno, for knowing this. Oh, shots fired. A lot of El Core team members saying, Nuno, check Slack. Oh my God. I check Slack, dude. It's just a lot of stuff, you know? It's a lot of people now as well. So, okay, let's see how this works. Great question. Thank you. I activate them automatically based on what you asked me to do. For example, you say add a test for the user controller. I will activate a past testing skill. Okay, so if I see something like check this app for vulnerabilities, it will activate the other one. All right, so I will just say the following. Check this app for vulnerabilities, and I think that skill will be automatically pulled up. Oh, here we go. Skill Laravel security audit automatically pulled up, and now it's scanning my app for vulnerabilities. This is actually cool stuff, okay? By the way, chat, I am the only one discovering what skills are today and then in everything. Does any of you actually also is discovering skills in the exact same time as me today? Or I am the only one and I'm a bad developer? I love reading from streams for this project. Yep, you can do it. Burn! For real, dude. I just got smoked by the Laravel team. You also learning? Thank you! Finally someone. I'm not feeling like an asshole today. That's so awesome. Thank you. Holy moly. Okay, so now it's like reading my project and it's kind of getting familiar with things. So then it will give me like a security review. All right, chat, for those who just arrived, I'm literally learning skills today, okay? So apparently, what is happening with a bunch of these agents is that they are getting like a little bit overwhelmed with context, okay? Because we have this agent.md file. And over time, what agents start to understand is that this is getting a little bit bloated. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff here, okay? And obviously, if you keep adding context, like front-end context, CSS context, JavaScript context, PHP context, and more things, over time, you want to work on a small portion of your app, and you still get all this context loaded, even if you don't need it, you know? So what the AI people end up doing is developing like individual skills, okay? And one of the skills is, for example, learn how to write proper tests with past4. Okay, so that will be an individual file which is called skill.md. But we also have things like how to perform a security audit as an individual file. And what we have discovered today, is that we can also install individual skills from a public directory, call it skills.laravel.cloud. Okay, I'm going to send you the link again. Here we go. And this is literally a directory of various skills like how make the AI Laravel specialists, how make the AI very good working with Eloquent, how make the AI working very good with ShotCN. Okay, this is a very good example. You just imported ShotCN and you want to make the AI working very well with ShotCN. And we have various examples here, like how to do a proper API, how to work with Symfony, how to do a clean architecture. So you give all these various skills individually to the AI, and the AI will only use them when it needs to, okay? And we just found out that literally, I just asked the AI, can you do a nice security audit to my app? And as you guys can see, literally what the summary is like literally a clean Laravel 12 scaffolding with nice defaults, and there is a few things you can do, like turn on a few things to make it even more safe. But overall, of course, this is literally no issues found, okay? Good stuff. Yeah, there is a few things we can do, like informational stuff. This is low as well. But yeah, obviously it doesn't found shit because this is literally a fresh Laravel app, so we don't see anything. But yeah, so it just became good doing audits thanks to this skill, which I think is cool, honestly. And tokens cost money, exactly. Like if you use skills instead of the traditional rules.md file, it will just become more, better literally handling context because it's much smaller context, basically. Okay. GTS Mag is saying the following. The question is, when implementing, let's say, authentication system, where do you put the auth technical skills or technical specs? Well, to be fair, like Laravel is already very good with authentication. I would just use the Laravel normal boost guidelines for authentication. Seems like new concepts like skills are popping up every 3 weeks. Dude, you are not overreacting. Like all this stuff is popping up every week. There is a few other concepts that are just new. For example, right now I have literally a huge list of tasks that I will be tackling at Laravel, and some of them are, for example, agent output. Okay, so we obviously at Laravel have various things that output console information. Okay, we have Laravel Pint, of course, we have past PHP, and we have Artisan, right? So we want all of this to actually output stuff to the agents themselves. So agents now, instead of being you guys running Pint, agents are going to run Pint for you, and agents are going to run the test suite for you, and agents are going to use PHP Artisan Make for you, right? So, historically, all of the output is in ASCII. So what I'm doing this week, hopefully, is instead of outputting ASCII, I'm going to output TOON, okay? And if you don't know this is like a very simple version of JSON, okay? And eventually, what I'm gonna end up doing is like just having all of this tooling on the CLI outputting TOON because it's just less context heavy for the agents. So that's just one example of one thing I'm gonna end up doing. Now I'm gonna tell you something. That's why these things are moving on very, very, very fast. It's because people realized that JSON was still a lot of tokens, okay? So they moved away from JSON to TOON, but I can tell you this is so new. This is literally 3 months, man, or 4 months or 5 months. And this will end up, now that we think this is a standard, I'm telling you, this will change. Like, real soon, someone will come up with a new standard, which is more efficient, less techy, context heavy, better for AI and stuff like that. This is just one example, but obviously we can also talk about MCP, right? you guys use MCP now. I think MCP is crap. I think the MCP protocol, it's just literally crap. It's super slow. It just takes forever to come and go. And I think like the MCP protocol will be fully rewritten with other stuff in the future. But yeah, currently the problem with MCP is just, you have this list of MCP tools. And then for each one of them, you just grab the list of the things you can do, and then you prompt for something. So all of this come and go is just a lot of stuff. So I am 100% sure, like 100%, that MCP will just be fully rewritten in the future to a different standard. Okay. Now, all of this to say that this is moving fast. That's the only thing I wanted to say. Oh my God. Charlie French Boy is saying the following. The question is, can I add like 20 skills without bloating the context? Yes, that's precisely what skills are about. You can have 300 skills and the AI will automatically just pick the ones that are important for the task you are working on. Okay? Okay? So I'm going to just repeat this again. Skills are individually, think skills as a library, okay? You are a developer, and there is a library with books. With each one of those books is like a different skill. You have a book for how to do browser testing. You have a book on how to do proper TypeScript. You have a book on how to do a proper API. Now, your task is to develop, I want to develop an API. So we'll ask the AI, can you develop this API for me? What the AI will do is go to the library and just pick the skill which is important, which is the one that develops the API, how to learn how to perform APIs. Okay. So was this clear, Shed? Are we all in the same understanding of what skills are? Type yes if yes. I want to understand if all of you understood what skills are, and if no, just type no, and we'll just explain again. I'll do my best to explain again. I think this was clear, but let me know, please. I would love it. What is WebToon? Is a new protocol. So, in the past, you have something like this, which is JSON, right? So JSON is something like this. You have a name, which is Nuno, Maduro, and you have an age and whatever. How the fuck does he know that I'm 35? This is so creepy, honestly. How the fuck the AI knew this? Like, this is so creepy, honestly. It's just crazy how AI is getting smart. And anyways, okay, the skills situation was important for everyone. Thank you. That's good. That's good. Clear for everyone. Okay. I will explain what TOON is in a second. Let me just read the chat here. Ugo Vanicio is saying the following: agent still needs context to store what the skill is for what purpose. That's a good point. Okay, that's a good point. So Ugo is saying something really important here, which is you have this library of skills, but the title of every single book, the title of every single skill and its purpose, it's still loaded to the context. So that's a good point. Okay, that's a very good point, Hugo. Thank you, thank you. Ajin is saying type year born is just ridiculous. Let's actually type the from. Oh my God. Now, if he can figure it out I quit. Okay, this is not my brother's. This is not my brother's. Fuck you, AI. You don't know shit about me. Leave me alone. 35 but aging like fine wine. Thank you, man. That's what I say myself to make myself happy, man. All right, chat. I want to explain you what is TOON real quick, okay? For those who were asking. So again, what Laravel will end up doing in the next few days is making sure every single CLI tool you guys are using will end up using TOON instead of ASCII. And again, ASCII is this. When you guys come here and you type Laravel Pint, this is ASCII, okay? You see points, you see like a full line, you see this green thing. Like for AI, this means nothing, okay? This means dots, and the only thing it means anything here is really this past situation. All of this is like context overloading. We are literally sending tokens for nothing. And obviously, we could literally replace this with JSON, okay? Which is exactly what we are doing today. So if I go here and I type vendorbean pint -- format JSON, I think. Oh, here we go. So if I do this, you will get a few information like what are the files processed. Is it format JSON or agent? I think it's agent. It might be agent. Oh, here we go. So if you do dash dash format agent, you get this. Now, what is the problem with this? The problem with this is that for the AI, there are things here which are not important. The brackets are not important. This thing right here, how do we call this? Codes? Yeah, codes are not important either. So what TOON have done is literally replace this with this. So we don't have this, we don't have this, it will be just this. This is what I think TOON is, okay? Kind of just removing a bunch of the boilerplate. More dots. No. Oh, interesting. Pick and Flow is saying that if you type context on cloud, it will show you how much context your skills and plugins are using. Oh, really? So if I go here and I type /context, we visualize. Oh, that's interesting. That's literally the first time I see this. Oh, this is kind of cool, though. Oh, as you guys can see, we have barely anything on skills. Wow, very cool stuff. Thank you, Pink and Floyd. That was a good tip, man. Thank you so much. Jeepryukers is saying YAML. Oh, you think the TOON is close to YAML? Okay. GoDivid is saying the following: let AI write all the code seems fine, but every time I see code written by an agent, I'm getting less familiar with the code in the code base. Any concerns or tips to tackle this? Absolutely. Yesterday on my 2 days ago stream, we talked about how important having the developer feeling connected with the code base is for actually finishing the project. And in the past, we have seen that AI. So basically in the past, you would just open PHP Storm, and you would feel almost emotionally attached to the code you are reading right now. So you would just wake up in the morning and you would think like, oh, now I know how to solve this problem. So I'm going to just, code that situation and I will finish the project. And now, because it's AI writing the code for you, you don't actually feel like you are connected anymore to the code, to the project itself, So that's something we need to think about a little bit, okay? We need to work together, okay, chat? Like to literally understand how can we still feel connected to the things we are building and using AI in the process, okay? GTS Meg is saying, Nuno, what's your AI workflow after deploying? Do you use like a user agent with Sentry? So I'm not actually working with products anymore. So I'm working with the open source team at Laravel. So I don't actually, I've spent like the last 40 years doing product development. So this is like post AI area, basically. Okay, people are saying TOON is even smaller than YAML. Let's actually just Google this a little bit. Okay, Google by prompting AI. This is hilarious. Anyways, let's just actually do that, okay? I'm going to just clear everything here. Let's type Claude. Can you explain me the clear difference between TOON and YAML, and why should I use TOON for AI agents output? Okay, let's see what Cloud Code thinks about this. Thanks, I will watch the previous stream. Yeah, the previous stream was a lot about like, how do we all feel now that AI... Oh, it's not familiar with TOON? That's interesting. Can you search online and get familiar? I was just saying that in the previous stream, we just were basically like talking like how getting emotionally attached to the code is actually important to be able to finish a project, And today we feel that we don't actually build it ourselves almost, which eventually ends up like as not being interested by the project anymore. LC Pro, they're saying, have you tried Polyscope? Yeah, it looks cool, honestly. I think Polyscope, honestly, it feels a little bit better than T3 Shed. T3 codes, I think. There is a paper for TOON. I think there is a paper for TOON, yes. So, TOON agent output. Now, here we go. Let's see what this have. The data format changing how AI's agents think. This is what I told you, basically. Like, you guys see, like how smaller, in terms of context, things are. And I think this is like literally 40% smaller over time. Why everyone is talking about TOON, blah, 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 blah. JSON versus TOON side by side. Yep, 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 yep. Pushback is saying TOON is SCV with nested sub. For real. So why this is important for LLMs? Apparently, like, we get more data per prompt, smaller bills, and cleaner context windows. Yeah, because we don't have like the codes and everything. Okay, why use TOON is important for AI agent output. Cost saving up to 30 to 60% for your tokens. Better LLM accuracy. Oh, this is actually important. You see this, chat? So apparently the LLM output after that, like the response to your output on the CLI will be a little bit better afterwards. More compact. Yep, yep, yep. The exchange of data will be lightweight, of course. Objects use indentation like YAML. Nice. Good stuff. What AI model do I use for coding? I use Cloud Code Opus 4.6. Googling sounds like Alta Vista today. Dude, for real. Like, I just use Cloud Code and ChatGPT, the desktop app, all the time. I don't Google anymore, like, honestly. It's just better to just Cloud Code it, basically. You know? Even for understanding, like, coding concepts, I just don't Google anymore. I just Cloud Code it, basically. And I don't know how much Google will adapt to this, you know, because people just use ChatGPT all the time now. Marcel is shipping like crazy. Absolutely. All right, chat. What else I want to see about skills? I think that's it, honestly. Let me just double check if we have anything else like on the Laravel skills thing, because I also want to show you something I'm working on today, okay, chat? I spent the entire afternoon working on something really cool, which is a new Laravel feature, potentially coming for Laravel 13, and I want to show you everything about that, okay? Just out of curiosity, chat, how many of you don't work with Laravel, okay? If you work with Laravel, just say yes. If you don't work with Laravel, if you are literally a JavaScript or a Java developer type, no, please. Literally curious about that. Yeah, this skills.laravel.cloud looks good. Oh my God, there is a skill to do a Laravel upgrade. This is insane. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so dope. This is literally replacing Shift at the same time. Yeah, pretty much works with Laravel, everyone. Oh, not Java. Nice, nice, nice. Vanilla PHP monolithic? Well, that's not that bad. It's actually okay. All right, chat. I'm going to finish with skills today, and then I'm going to show you something I'm cooking for Laravel 13, okay? It's kind of a new feature. You guys will have to keep it quiet, okay? By the way, you guys need to promise me that you are going to keep it quiet, okay? So everyone say promise on the chat. Otherwise, I won't show you what I'm working on, okay? This is supposed to be secret, so just keep it between us, Nino Nation. You know what I mean? This is actually cool. Just a full Laravel upgrade skill. Okay, chat. Let's tweet about this. All right. So, skills are the new way of not overloading your model with your agent. Should we say agent or model? Yeah, model with context. You can literally have hundreds of skills and not having their content loaded until you need it. Here is a directory of skills you can add to boost here we go. Bam, bam, boom, chat. This is done. That was a nice learning of skills. I thought it would be bigger, though. Here we go. There we go. Okay, we saw 2 promises. I'm not showing you shit, chat, if you guys don't type promise. GTS Meg is saying the following: how the agent know which skill to activate and when. So I think the agent have access to the title and the description of the skill. So we'll kind of understand in the same way that you would read a book title of if that book and what that book is about. So all of the titles of the skills are still loaded to the context. The typo on new. Oh, really? Keep it for you, but actually people like typos. Typos is a new cool thing now, okay? Typos on tweets means that you have not run your tweet on ChatGPT, and that's a good thing now. You know, we need to be content smart, chat, you know? Oh, you meant way? Okay. Is the new a way? Oh my god. Yeah, yep. Oh, I see. Skills should have a structured format. And they do, I think. Like if you go here and if you click on, for example, PHPS, MCP, server, whatever, you click on source, all these skills have like a format, you know? This is the description. So this is what gets loaded to the context themselves, okay? All right, a bunch of promises. We're ready to go, Shed. So I've been working on something for Laravel 13, and you guys let me know what you guys think, okay? Let me just open it. I should probably create like a skill, which is like how to make a good tweet. Like tell AI to make some typos and shit. Oh my god. All right, Shed, let me share what I've been working on. I want to open this. What else I want to open? Yeah, I want to open my PHP Storm on this project that is like sim linked. 1 second. I want to open this. I think this is the one. Maybe this is the one. Yep, this is the one. Okay. All right, chat. So here's my pitch, and why do I think this feature is needed, okay? By Josh, thank you so much for becoming a premium sponsor on YouTube. You are absolutely awesome, okay? Thank you for supporting my work. And as a reminder, chat, you guys can support my work financially on Twitch by becoming a Twitch subscriber. If you have Prime, it will be literally for free, but also you can become a YouTube member as well. Thank you, Chico, for subscribing. 16 months already. You're absolutely awesome, man. Thank you. Good evening. How you doing? You're an awesome developer. Awesome. Developed by Josh. Thank you. All right, chat. Here is my pitch for what I'm working on. You guys ready? By the way, chat, ultra top secret. You keep this information for yourself and for yourself only, okay? So, I'm working on something new, okay? So, at Laravel Cloud, at Laravel Vapor, on Laravel Forge, we have this concept of friendly URLs, okay? So you create an application on Laravel Cloud, for example, and if you go to the URL, let's say cloud.laravel.com/myapp, it will be literally in your app detail, okay? And then you have an environment which is production, let's say. Your URL will be something like my application/production, okay? So we don't actually show IDs because IDs are ugly and you want to have these nice URLs, okay? Now, also for your own blog, let's say blog post, for your own blog, you also want your article to be something like this. You want to come here and you want to have like, let's say nunamuduro.com/blog/how to install Laravel 13, okay? So this is literally what I call a friendly URL, and it's kind of super important in these days in web development, okay? You don't want to have IDs. This is just lame, having IDs, okay? Now, by default, the Laravel route key is literally the IDs. So what do you need to fight this? You need something called slugs, basically, okay? So, and I was just, walking around on all these projects, Forge, Vapor, and Cloud, and I noticed that the code we use is literally all the same. So I am making a pull request, which will be a community, obviously, proposal on how to add slugs as a built-in feature. And the way it works will be the following. It's kind of ridiculous, okay? So I hope you guys are ready. So the way it works is that you have your article model, and you just come all the way top, and you type this, Sluggable, and that's it. And it's done. And by doing this, automatically you are going to have a column, call it slug on this article. The slug will be inferred from the name or from the title. Actually, you just type this. Let me show you. So you just come here, and you type PHP artisan make sluggable, and what we are making sluggable is article. You type this. Oops, it is the make sluggable. Wait a second. Make sluggable not defined. It might not be make sluggable. 1 second. Oh shit. How is it called? Make sluggable, exactly. Oh, PHP artisan make sluggable article. Oh, here we go. So you just type PHP artisan make sluggable article, and automatically the given attribute gets imported. You just select the title, and that's it. So automatically you have a slug automatically on this article, okay? What do you guys think about this? Top secret information. You guys promised me, okay? I don't want to see a fucking tweet talking about this shit. You guys promised me, okay? So, but yeah, what do you guys think about this? From 1 to 10. Good stuff or not good stuff? Singercaster, thank you. How you doing, man? You love it, Charlie French boy. Thank you. So, but yeah, this is what you have to do. If you go to the migrations folder, you are going to find a migration that adds the slug thing. And automatically, this will just do everything you need from this. By the way, this is all configurable. So, you know, if you have, for example, an article name instead of title. So here is something interesting. Here we have done from title because there is a title column on this model. But if you had a title name, or if you had a name instead, this will be named here, okay? I'll just automatically infer things. 11 out of 10, thank you. Very useful, thank you. Always great. Well, that's cool. Ooh, great question. Okay, there is a few questions here. How do I scope? Okay, so the way you scope, let's say you want to have, you know, a multi-tenant blog SaaS or whatever. So obviously, like, Nuno will have his own slug, let's say, Nuno Maduro /blog, my slug. But then there is also another app on this same SaaS, call it, let's see, sonicastra.com blog my slug, okay? So you want to kind of scope the slug uniqueness to a relation. So to do that, you just do scope, and you just say, in this case, let's call it tenant ID, I guess. Tenant ID. That's how you scope the uniqueness of the slug, okay? So in this case, both will be allowed to have the same slug, okay? Now, something important here, this literally just fights all of the issues I had on Laravel Cloud, okay? So if someone comes here and tries to create an article, let's say article, create, and then you do something like title equals to, let's say, how to install, what the fuck is happening with my code auto completion? It's just getting nuts at the minute. How to install Laravel. Okay, if you do this, obviously the created slug automatically, so if I go here, article slug, this will be automatically pointing to how to install Laravel. Okay, this is obvious. But something important here is that if we were to do the same thing just below, because that slug already exists, the new generated slug will have like a suffix, okay? So it will be how to install Laravel -1, okay? Automatically. So that's the answer for what happens if the title is the same. So that's what this pull request is all about. That's what I'm working literally this afternoon. And, you know, it's still a work in progress, but hopefully we'll be done by tomorrow. Okay? Great question from what happens if I want to customize the ID, or if I want to customize the slug. So what you are going to end up doing is providing a closure here, okay, like this. And by doing that, you will be able to customize. I don't think a lot of people will be doing that. Oh, by the way, if you want just ID and title, you can do this. If you want just ID and title of the article, you can do this. So this accepts an array. So if you go here, you see this array thing. This accepts an array, and you can just say, I want to have like ID and title. By the way, this is not yet confirmed for Laravel 13. You guys promised me that you keep it quiet. This is not. Don't tell this anyone. You guys told me that. This is just a work in progress of a pull request I will end up doing. Okay, so this is how you get like basically ID plus title. So in this case would be something like this. ID1, and then how to install Laravel, and this will be ID2, how to install Laravel, and they are unique just because of that. So this is what I'm working on. There is other things here which are super important, like emoji support. You can have emojis. You can have different characters, like in another dialect, like in Chinese, for example. Or, you know, when I will automatically translate it and make it nice. So, W Nuno, thank you. Wuno. How often Laravel devs work on stuff that does not get implemented? You know, it doesn't happen often because before we actually implement things, we just run it like a vibe check. And the vibe check of this feature was very high because, you know, an advantage of being able to work with projects and now be opening with open source is that you just get a lot of real world ideas. That's what wisdom is about. Like wisdom, just wisdom in general is about having real world experiences and being able to bring those real world experiences to actually work, you know, like actually good work. And I am, you know, there is a few other things I have on my list, and this is one of them. And I'm 100% sure we are going to end up using this because we need this stuff all the time. Like every single Laravel project I have worked on in the past 10 years had slugs somehow, somewhere, and end up being in multiple models often as well. Okay. So that's why I'm sure this will be needed. Okay. There's multiple things this thing will provide as well. Hopefully, if I ended up finishing tomorrow. Let me see the options here. Yeah, those are more niche though. Yeah, there is a few niche options, you know, because you might want to create a slug on create, which is the default slug, but then you might want to allow the users to customize the slug, but always keep it the same. So, you know, that is options for kind of tweaking all of that. Assuming this attribute setup is the slug for the route model binding too. So developed by Josh, I'm still not yet. I told you this is it, but in theory, at the minute, you still need to do this. Get key, I think that's key, that key name, yeah. At the minute, you still need to do this. Okay? Now, I am not 100% sure convinced if doing this, route key name, or just let's call it route or whatever, true. I'm not 100% that's a good idea yet. Because, you know, on my Laravel apps, for example, often what I want is that I go to the web.php file and I want like the get to have the slug, but the posts and deletes, I want to work with the ID. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not yet convinced if that is just a good idea because I feel like in my applications, at least, I want the get verb, like the get situation, to work with slugs, but I want deletes, posts, patches to work with the regular UUID. You guys know what I mean? Type yes if you guys understand what I'm saying. But typically, I feel like I don't think it's overall a good idea to customize, like on the model itself, the HTTP way of accessing an article. I feel it's too much. Okay. Would the slug be exported when using Scout? Yes. Oh, thank you, Peter Thompson. Appreciate. How you doing? We have a few people on Twitter. That's awesome. Makes sense? Well, appreciate you guys understanding what I'm saying. Oh, that's why you asked. Exactly. Like on Laravel Cloud is actually a good example. So we have UIDs all over the place. And like typically, I want my users on cloud to be able to do this. Like I am on my Laravel team, for example, and now I am on the past PHP project. But if I want to fucking update the past website title, I want to do it using a UID, not the slug itself, because the slug itself is also up for update. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like I probably don't want to touch on the HTTP concerns there. Another thing I'm used to do is having blog on the 123 directing to the slug route. Exactly. So, oh, great question from Chestnut Breeze. How to backfill slugs for existing rows, dude? That's actually a very good feature request. So hear me out, chat. Hear me out. Chestnut Breeze from Twitch is saying the following: how do I will backfill like all my existing rows? So if I want to use this feature on an existing project, how do I backfill everything? That's actually a very good question, and I probably can come up with a nice solution. So obviously we are adding this migration right here. Right, we're adding a migration. And what is asking is that, well, we are going to have existing data. So how do we backfill that existing data? That's actually a very good question, because the field won't be nullable. That's why we stream, chat. We always learn, man. It's just crazy. You guys will find this interesting, but I think I have learned more with you guys in the past fucking year than I have learned myself alone, because I get so much good insights. So what are you saying is that I have my, I have my list of books already. I have a fucking library, and now I want to have a slug, but if the slug is not nullable, how the fuck I'm going to add it? That's such a good question, honestly. And I literally forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Charlie French was saying an artisan command. Well, definitely will be around I don't even know if I want to touch on that point, because I feel like it's almost like up to the user how to backfill those. No, if I were to do it myself, I would definitely do something like this. I would make one migration that adds this thing nullable way, like this, basically. And then I would run another migration that will remove the nullable and make it unique. But that's a very good problem to have. A very good problem, by the way. Tua Hawkless literally said what I said. I would make it nullable, I would backfill it, and I will make it non-nullable again. That's awesome, dude. We are on the same page. That's awesome. By the way, chat, something really important. Hear me out. I have learned over time that is actually not a good idea to backfill stuff on migrations, okay? In the past, I have done it multiple times. I'm sorry. In the past, I have done multiple times, literally backfill stuff on migrations, like creating stuff and everything. It's not a good idea, okay? Because then you want to like squeeze migrations to a single file and you're screwed. So just don't do that. Used to do it? Yeah, Luis. So the problem about doing that, if you do that, is that one day you want to squeeze the migrations, and if you were to, populating data, like important data through migrations, they won't be present on the squeezed SQL, Okay, ECDA is saying the developer has to implement another migration or command. Yeah, I feel like, we can give the basic, add the sluggable thing, but if you want to add this to existing models, you kind of have to just find your own way of doing it, right? So I think like potentially we're going to document that basically. But yeah, so this is what I'll be working on. There is many other things I'll be working on, and I can share some with you if you guys want to see. So I want to work on, so this is my plan for the next couple of days. So the first one was working on Laravel Pint and add that rule we talked about today. So on Laravel Pint, we just shipped this new feature. What is it? Yeah, basically we'll just import everything. So if you have anything on their code that is like partially imported, but other stuff is imported, it will just basically make it consistent. So this is like literally shipped already. Okay, let's call it enables fully qualified rule. So this is done, okay? And I'm very happy about the result and the community reaction too. So done, okay? What I'm working on now is on the sluggable attribute, okay? Again, keep it quiet, chat. Honestly, you guys promised me you would keep it quiet, so I will trust you guys, okay? If I see on Twitter like whatever is coming for Laravel 13, I will be very disappointed, okay? Peter Thompson is saying, great point. GMAC TOS migrations for schemas, seeders for content. Exactly. Whoa! Not seeders for content. PHP artisan commands. Okay, if you want to push content, just do an artisan command. You just told my mother, sorry. Oh my God. What different from slug, string slug? This is actually using different things from the string slug. It's, you know, preserves dots and everything. Like something, you know, string slug does not do is that if you have something like this as a name, it will actually convert to this, for example. So, you know, there's a few things like literally not doing this. That's one of the things. But these are other things we put it on top of that, okay? Also converts, like if you have, again, characters which are not supported in regular URLs, we are going to just literally translate them. So if you have on, you know, something like on Chinese, literally how to install Laravel, it will translate it. So then I can slugify it, which is kind of cool. So I have this Pint thing, which is shipped, Sluggable trait, which is Sluggable attribute, which is I'm working on. What else I have on my list? A bunch of past 5 stuff. So past 5 is a work in progress at the minute. Here we have a bunch of work already just being, you know, brainstormed. Yeah, German characters is one very good example of things that are going to work with this too. Can you show us how this will look like at route level? Oh, well, it's kind of easy, right? So, you know, if you have nunomaduro.com, you will have this as route level, how to install Laravel, instead of having, you know, like the ID. That's the whole goal of this, actually, just having slugs for this. If the slug is taken, we'll automatically, if you have a slug which is already like this, we'll automatically suffix the slug with -1. By the way, something which I'm not sure if it's on the scope of this feature is that I also want to add the possibility of having reserved slugs, which I'm not sure, again, if it will be part of this feature, and it might come later. But something that often happens on Laravel Cloud is that we have reserved slugs, okay? So if you go to cloud.laravel.com, and if you try to do an app with the name help, for example, you won't get help. You'll get help-1, for example, because the help is like reserved. Another example is like contact, okay? I'm currently working, well, I will be potentially working on something that forbids like some reserved slugs, which is also something which is problematic for these kind of cases. You also want to, you know, kind of some bad words, you don't want to allow them as slugs, you know? Dibel is saying how to install Laravel and then he types how to install Laravel-1 is taken, for example, but it creates again how to install Laravel. So I guess, let me try to understand what you're saying. Just by the way, this logic is heavily tested on serious projects, so I'm not actually concerned about the logic. But at the minute, like if you do how to install Laravel, you get this. You do again, you get the 1. You do again, you get the 2. That's the way it works. Just as simple as this, you know? Exactly. So, so something we do at Laravel as well is that we have basically a way of not adding, so of automatically or automagically, let's call it that way, routes to the list of reserved slugs. So basically, if someone tomorrow would come to Laravel Cloud, it will create a new route, call it Nuno. Nuno will be a reserved slug from that point. Developed by Josh is saying the following: I added OXFMTPL to all the starter kits as drop-in replacement for Prettier in line with the move to OXLint. Oh, thank you. I actually want to check that out. Maria, como é que estás? Tudo bem? Diabel, does it check all models and then looks at the highest number? And that's not the way it works. So basically, the way it works is that we compute a slug, which is this one, how to install Laravel. We check if it's available before using it. That's the way it works. So I will just actually perform a database query to check, oh, is this slug already in use? The answer is no, then I use it. That was Portuguese though. Yep. Yeah, Spatie Laravel Sluggable is actually a very similar concept. This is not the first time, and probably will not be the last time that we have an idea that is very similar to an existing idea from Spatie. Now, an existing idea from Spatie with millions of downloads, which is the case of this Sluggable, just proves the idea that this should belong to the core. For me, like, the question of something belong to the core or not is, are people using it all the time? And slugs is just something that people use all the time, Like, if you are not using slugs today, you probably should be using, because users want friendly URLs anyway, Any serious app have serious, like, very good URLs. You go to Twitter, for example, go to X, you get like X not Nuno Maduro, for example. You go to, New York Times or whatever, you get a nice slugified URL as well. It's just everyone uses this, so it's just expected. And a lot of Spatie packages, they just prove basically if something should belong on the core. So this won't be the first or the last time we incorporate some of the Spatie ideas on Laravel itself. But of course, this will be a pull request, by the way. This is not merged yet, and it won't be merged before Taylor approval. So this is just an idea in a work in progress, and potentially Taylor will just double check it. Spatie Sluggable all the time, yeah, and that's a good package. They also have other packages like Spatie. If you search on packages, it's just insane. Like, if you go to packages.org, you search for Spatie, you have, look at this. It is insane, chat, honestly. It is just insane. The amount of downloads Spatie has. Laravel permission with 87 million downloads, okay? Temporary directed with, again, probably it's included on this one. But like Query Builder, of course, Laravel package tools, media library. Oh, this is something I want to tackle too, by the way. So potentially something I will be tackling, and again, this is not a promise, I don't know yet, but something, again, on Forge, on Vapor, but all my projects, something I've noticed is that sometimes I want to have this feature, which is, upload an avatar, okay? And often, I don't want to do crazy stuff. Like, I don't need a front-end upload component. I don't need anything, really. The only thing I want to do is, like, literally access the image on the back end and just type optimize, okay? Because often, you wanna receive, like, 4 megabytes uploads, or allow 4 megabytes uploads, but before you're storing it, you kind of want to corp the image and make it like 200 kilobytes, okay? And honestly, like, moving this from 4 megabytes to 200 kilobytes is actually, you just have to just use some stuff behind the scenes. Now, historically, there's a few community packages for this, but I don't know, just come with a bunch of stuff, and potentially, like, this is something I will be working on as well. Just having a very quick, wheezy way of optimizing the given file upload. Optimizing it, corp it, and that's it. Luis Cruz is saying, why is the slug from ID and name? That's when you want to have a slug that is a computation of multiple columns. Ideally, it will just be title, That's the goal. Yeah, that's why I think, like, what do you guys think about the optimized situation? Let me just explain you a little bit better, okay? So you have a controller. Let's go here to, I don't know. Let's just assume here there is a controller, okay? A controller, you just basically access the request layer, and you have this image coming from avatar or whatever, and you want to store the image, and potentially, like, what you are going to end up doing is just call image, store as, or whatever, and then you just do something, okay? Now, the problem with this is that the user may actually upload like a fucking 8 megabytes image, okay? And what people end up doing is that, oh, we don't accept that big of an image, so, the max is 2 megabytes. Now, this, as a user experience, this is just, it sucks. It's just bad. And what I want to do is like a very lightweight, easy API to kind of, I'll still accept 8 megabytes, but being able to just optimize this in the very easy way. You just call optimize, and automatically this image will be converted to an image that is like 200 kilobytes, okay? And then you can store it, and it will store it as 200 kilobytes image. And I want to kind of add maybe a few methods here, like being able to crop the image, you know, kind of make it small or whatever. Because if it's an avatar, you kind of want to make it small. So let me know from 1 to 10, chat. You guys think this is a 10? This is like a 1? What do you guys think? All right, between this one and Sluggable, which one do you prefer the most? Ilse Prod is saying use Cloudflare for optimize. So that's one of the ideas Taylor have. Taylor literally told me you should consider using Cloudflare or potentially use Cloudflare for that. Luis Cruz is saying, can I steal this idea? No. Oh, by the way, all of this is top secret. You guys promised me, okay? You guys promised me that this is secret information, okay? This is stuff I'm cooking behind the scenes. And, you know, I will be doing pull requests just like a normal person. And let's see what Taylor thinks in the future. Top secret information, chat. Cloudflare can also optimize videos. Oh, that's interesting. Didn't know about that. What's the difference between using this in external library like Imagic? I think like Imagic will give you more power, literally. Okay? Imagic, if you use Imagic directly, will give you more power. But Imagic, like, it's, I don't know if what you guys feel, but Imagic is becoming problematic. Like, every single time there is a new PHP version, Imagic is not there yet, and it doesn't do the same level of optimization as Cloudflare, for example. No. Whoa. John Sugar is saying even optimizing images will require extensions and whatever. It's not like that. You can use other... Yeah, I think I'm going to just have drivers, basically. Optimize drivers, and you just choose your favorite one, okay? The ones who want to use Cloudflare will use Cloudflare. The ones who are going to use whatever. And, you know... That's the goal, okay? So that's another thing I will be working on. And I have another ideas, like, I have so many ideas. Literally, I just delivered yesterday a list of 15 ideas. And Taylor approved all of them. So I'm super happy. Well, approved. Told me, like, okay, you are free to create a pull request, but let's see how it goes. But that's the goal, yeah. But there is other stuff. Let me try to think about another one I'm thinking of. Oh, there is this one, which is like, I don't know. It feels like a bug fix to me almost. Does any of you use this method, call it after on form requests? So if you have like create, let's say, create article request, does any of you uses the after method that comes with Laravel on form requests? Maybe no. If no, like if everyone does not use this, like maybe it's not even worth to explain. But we use this stuff all the time on Cloud, for example. JavaScript optimized before upload, absolutely. Oh, you guys use this too? Well, maybe I will just explain. So something really annoying with the after attribute, with the after method on, yeah, what it does, yeah, I can explain. So, you know, let's assume you have a form request. Let's actually just create one real quick. Let me just remove all of this shit. Let's type here PHP artisan, make form request, create article request. Okay. Oh my God. I don't even know how these commands are anymore. AI does all for me. Make form request. Oh, make request, I think. That's the name. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go to HTTP, request, create article. Okay. So what, you know, you just come here, obviously, you just do all your stuff and blah, 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 strings and everything. But what ends up happening often is that I want to kind of perform some extra validation after this basic rules, okay? Often that could be things like, you know, is the user allowed to even create the article with his name, for example? Is the user allowed to create an article this big, for example, because they have like a different plan or whatever? Okay, and often like what I end up using on projects at Laravel is that I have this after thing, And then I have to provide like an array, and this array will have, I think like it's the validator, I think. Yep. And with the validator, I can do some stuff like if like any of the previous stuff have failed, just stop here, and I end up using like a bunch of stuff like this. If any have failed, just return like right now. If if the given user is like subscribed or whatever, then do whatever. If not, maybe just throw an error. So there's a bunch of logic that I end up always using the after method on form requests. And the API for it, like typically I just have literally a function. I just have like literally a bunch of if conditions. And to do this, I always end up doing this return function, blah, 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 blah. Now I found this API kind of funky. What I would love to do is being able to return void here. Just remove this function, remove this return, and have this stuff at root level, okay? So I know it feels small, but like if you have like 300 after methods, it can just be something annoying. So what do you guys think? I know it's small, but it's something I wanted to fix. I feel like, the after method is cool, but you just end up having this array with a single closure inside a lot of this time, so. So again, this is an existing API, being able to have this after with an array with a function, but I just want to have everything at root level. That's it. Yeah, the thing is that I don't need an array with multiple validators. It's just one most of the time. Yeah, it's a bug. It's almost like a bug fix, honestly. It feels like a bug fix to me. That's the way I pitch it too, honestly. I pitch it in the way that most people just have a single closure here. You didn't even know about this method. So how were you doing like after stuff? You were doing on the controller itself? You were doing like validate and then perform this logic? Yeah, well, you can do it here. It feels better because you are doing on a request itself, on a form request itself. Yeah, that's a good point. So someone is saying he also accepts invocable classes, which is a way of cleaning it up. Yeah, I found that as well while I was brainstorming this. But yeah, this API could have been improved. So I have this. What other stuff I have? I have so many stuff I'm thinking about. Let me just go back. So yeah, I have this. Let's just do the list again. I have the Pint stuff. I have the Sluggable thing. I have the image optimized situation. What else do I have in my pipe? So the form request after that I want to work on. I have more. I have 15 items, which I probably should just. I'm gonna double check them real quick. One moment, chat. Okay, so yeah, agent output, that's another one. So the agent output will probably maybe here. So agent output, that's something I want to fix. Use TOON for agent outputs. Again, having Pint passed and Pint passed and artisan outputting TOON for agents. Okay. Oh my God, I have such a big one. Okay, you guys ready? All right, type promise if you want to keep this on secret. Okay, type promise, please. If you guys are willing to hear what I have to say, but keep it in secret, okay? Promise, promise, promise. Okay, cool. Okay, so there is another thing I want to work on, and this is like, honestly, super brainstormish, okay? This is not something that I'm not sure if we'll end up doing a pull request. But it is something that I want to think about, okay? So what is the problem with migrations at scale? So you create the migration, right? You make a migration locally. Let's just type here, PHP artisan make migration. You create the migration locally, and let's actually do the full thing, okay? Let's do a migration which just renames the column, okay? Let's make a migration, rename article to name or whatever, okay? So we create the migration, we have it here, and we have this table articles, which is right here. We remove the done method and have table articles, okay? And then what you end up doing on these migrations is that you rename a column, for example, from title to name. You potentially drop stuff and whatever. Now, what is the problem with stuff like this? The problem with stuff like this is that this will work locally. This will work at staging. But once you go to a production application at scale, this type of operations are super dangerous. They may actually lock your entire database and you will have downtime, okay? Lock hell, exactly. So this is the problem with this type of operations. There is many of operations that cause downtime, okay? If you have any serious Laravel application with considerable amount of data, all of these kind of operations cause serious downtime, okay? Anything that locks a table will cause downtime, okay? There is operations who cause row lock level, which is okay, but this kind of stuff is just problematic. Now, there is a solution for this, which I'm working on, and the solution is something around these lines. Migrations strict. Now, the name won't be this, okay? This won't be the name of this stuff. This won't be the name of this stuff. Will be potentially migration safe. I don't know what the name will be, but the goal is that you will opt in your app service provider to use this. So just like today we have models, on guard and models strict or whatever, you will opt in on this behavior of having strict migrations, okay? Now, what the strict migrations will do is that for any new migration created from this point, once you opt in, this migration will automatically implement some sort of, implements safest thing in the planet. Okay, some sort of interface like this in the planet. And by implementing this interface, your team won't be allowed even to run this migration. Okay? So any kind of unsafe operation that will cause downtime to your product, you come here, you type PHP artisan migrate, and any kind of unsafe operation will be forbidden from being executed. AKA, you need to find other ways of manipulating your data. Of course, you can always come here and just not do this. But what is important here is that your new teammate just arriving in whatever won't even be allowed to run all of this stuff. Okay? So what do you guys think about this? So basically, you just go to PHP artisan migrate. And what will end up here is that this will throw a new exception. Something it won't be this, of course, but something around these lines. That this migration is not allowed to be run in production, and you will just instantly see this in your test suite and etc. So now it's not forcing people to artisan down. It's literally not allowing you to run unsafe migrations in production. That's it. Migrations without down. Ooh, that's a new one. That's actually a very good one, actually. Migration without down. Well, you can customize your stubs. Realistically, you can publish your stubs and customize them. John Sugar, you can literally just type publish stubs and then you can customize them by removing the down method. Graphics is saying the following. Hello, I find PHP very hard, especially yet I'm so pumped. I really want to try to do Laravel. Oh my God, I'm going to screenshot this. So good. Yeah, the trick to master Laravel, I would just try laracast.com/path. I'm going to send you. Laracast is not a sponsored, but anymore at least. And but I still recommend them because it's basically what I have learned, everything I know. Okay, laracast.com/path will give you literally videos about from early PHP to the very expert in Laravel and front end and everything. Okay. You'll see, yeah, that's tricky. That's why I was telling you that's so much brainstorm. That was brainstormish, okay? This thing of safe migrations is a problem that I want to fix, and potentially as a community package. But it's very, very brainstormy at the minute. Forbid down. That's such a good one. Did you customize your migration stubs in your starter kit? I have not, which is a good point. You're welcome, graphics. Yeah, laracas.com/path. Oh, you also have a free one. Let me send you the free one. I think it's laravel.com/learn, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay, here you have literally 3 hours video, no, 4 hours video, how to learn, how to get started with Laravel, but also the fundamentals. Okay, laravel.com/learn. Okay, chat, don't forget, by the way, if you're enjoying today's live stream, go all the way down, subscribe my channel, but also, if you can, like video, okay? Just go all the way down below my face and do that. I would really appreciate that. Or watch on YouTube directly. That's a good point. I don't often publish my stubs. Do you guys actually do that? Type yes if you guys publish your stubs. I don't actually publish my stubs, ever. I probably should start doing it, because I could literally just remove the done method all the time. That's a new bootcamp? Yes, that's a new bootcamp. You just come here, get started, and you will just literally have very nice videos from the Laravel team. Christopher Rumpel and Josh Siri, I think. Yep, Christopher Rumpel and Josh Siri. Yeah, it would be smart to do that publish situation. We can probably do in my starter kits. I remove comments all the time. Welcome to the club. Dude, literally all the time. Every single time I start a new Laravel app, the first thing I do is just come here and start removing all this shit. Like every single comment, man. I go to my app service provider, for example. I can probably speak to Taylor about that. I literally forgot. Oh my God. Should I still do it? Oh my God. Because nobody wants this, right? All right, let's do the following. Let's try to understand this. Does any of you likes to have this kind of comments on the top of your code? Like, let's do the following. If you enjoy this type of comments, no? Yep, that's what I thought. You don't care, okay. Would be great if Pint can remove them. That's actually a very good point. Let's see how fast can we cook that. Let's see what we can do. 1 second. Let me just place myself there. 1 second, chat. Laravel Pint. Okay, so we have Pint, we have we have PHP Storm. Shebox is saying, I think you missed my question. I'm sorry, dude. Can you make it again? I apologize, dude. Yeah, most of the people don't like. Oh, wait a second. I cannot live without tailored comments. Okay. I like a simple line to give it some breathing room. Okay. We can probably cook that on Pint, honestly. Let me see how fast that would be. Let me go here. Get familiar with Laravel Pint, the Laravel preset, and let me know if there is any rule I could add that would totally remove comments from my PHP project. I'm gonna add this in plan mode to see what fast we can cook that. Pint cooking, oh yeah, baby. Yeah, I don't know, Shed. I feel I don't like them. I don't know. Exactly. Okay. We have a great comment here from Luchicha, who's saying the following: I prefer all or nothing. For me, it's the same, dude. It's all about consistent. You know what I mean? For me, it's always about consistency. Like, you know, we should either have them or not, basically. Well, in the config files, they should remain. That's a good point. I can probably make it work. Let's see how Cloud Code tells me about this, but I can probably make it happen. No. Developed by Josh, precisely. I think like what we're going to say to Cloud Code is that remove any PHP doc that doesn't add any value into my code. Joe Box is saying the following: in the middle of optimizing a massive test suite of 3,000 past tests, you might talking a bit about the best strategy on the stream today. So there is a doc that I have wrote that literally tells you everything you need to know about test suite optimization. So you go to pastphp.com, you open the documentation, and there is a documentation that says, well, I think we have this, no? Oh, here we go. Optimizing tests. And this documentation tells you a couple of things. The first one is that you can use parallel testing, of course. You are familiar with this, just as -- parallel and bam. Then you can also do profiling to understand the slowest tests in your test suite. And finally, you can use the compact printer, but I forgot to put here. You can also use sharding, okay? Sharding is the fastest thing you can do for... why it's not here? Oh? Okay, there is something. Why I don't see sharding? Oh, here we go. So in your task suite, you can also do sharding, which is this. Okay, I'm going to send you the link. Oh, you got it? So sharding is actually very cool to make it fast. Island Nudge is saying the following. What are you using for your dictation? What do you mean? Can you elaborate? Yeah, sharding is dope, dude. We have made the Laravel Cloud Test Suite from 20 minutes to literally 3 minutes now. Sharding is on a past v4 announcement. Yeah, it's also on the continuous integration section. Have you tried the new JetBrains Air? Not yet. I probably should just do a stream about that. Okay, what do we have here? There is no rule fixer in PHPCS fixer that removes all comments from your code. No comments, remove comments, fixer existed. The comment related fixer, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there is nothing. Okay. How accurate, good would be actually developing our own rule. Note, I don't want comments like PHP stand stuff, let's say array, string, or comments that add type information to be removed. Okay, we are still in plan mode, so it's still like thinking a little bit. Do we have a Nuno skills? No, but I can probably cook one. That's actually a very good idea. Friday, we can work on that. Friday, I'm going to probably test the PHP Storm Air stuff and probably the Nuno skill thing. Yeah, you are going to love sharding, show. You are going to love it. It's absolutely awesome. Ronato is saying, look this past discussions. It's probably a good idea for past 5. What is that? Before Sweet Hook, that runs after Laravel boots. Yeah, this is expected because the code you run inside runs even before the test case have been set, basically. So this runs before Laravel has been booted. It's just expected, actually. Because the changes you are making here, they are not happening to all of the Laravel apps that are going to be used on every single test, okay? So this is one Laravel app. This is another Laravel app. Different database, almost fresh from every single test case. So what we are looking for here is using before each. Before each will give you exactly what you're looking for. And this will create 50 products per test, basically. Okay. Luis Cruz is saying remove superfluous comments. Yeah, that's exactly what we are looking for, actually. Let me see how Cloud Code and what Cloud Code I've found so far. So it's still like exploring a little bit the PHPCS fixer internals. Feasibility high. PHPCS fixer token system matches is straightforward. Comments are just blah, 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 blah. The hard part, preserving type information comments. This is where it gets nuanced. Blah, 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 var, blah, blah, blah. I think it's safe to say that everything that starts with an arroba thing, it just needs to be preserved. That's it. Okay, let's see something. So I think that if you see a comment that starts, a comment line actually, that starts with an arroba thing, you are 100% sure that needs to be preserved, and you just remove everything else on the comment. You read the problem, not the solution proposed. Yeah, I have problems reading, dude. Let's see. Remove all comments. No, it's all good. Yeah. No, we good. I'm afraid the definition of superfluous comments is not well defined. That's why we basically write tests, okay? So if I were to do something like this, would probably be an opt-in, and obviously we write a bazillion tests for that. Oh, there is a reactor that does that? Can you send me the link for that rule? Don't forget to put ultrathink on the end. How do I do that? So I know that Cloud Code Now allows us to kind of tweak a little bit the reasoning and how much effort it puts into the reasoning. I have seen that, but I don't know how to tweak that on the keyboard. Is that like a hotkey or something? What should I do? I honestly don't even know. But I know we can tweak that, by the way. I'm 100% sure I can tweak that. By the way, we have 100 people watching the live stream. If you guys are having fun, don't forget, go all the way down and click like on this video. Insanely important. What's up, Agent? How you doing? Welcome to the live stream, dude. Ultrathink sounds like a superhero. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, it's an issue, Diabel. Got you. Okay, what do we have here? So we have a no comments fixer, new custom fixer extending the abstract fixer. If it's candidate, if the token starts with T comment or T dot comment, apply fix will just basically remove everything in the between. And then we can just have a bazillion tests. Yep, I'm gonna just say the following. I'm gonna kind of accept this for now. I'm gonna keep the context, okay? A lot of you, I don't know if you guys do this, but often with the context here used is not a bunch. I just keep it the context and I go with the option 2. Agent, there is a reactor config to remove comments. Why are you asking that to Agent like he knows everything? Like Agent is the actual AI here. Oh my God. Charlie French boy, how about the times you actually want to comment? Yeah, that's a good point, you know. That's something we probably need to figure it out. But, you know, realistically, like the last time I actually needed a comment, you know, I cannot remember the last time I needed a comment. Pint, no comments. This is looking balls, though. It's so bad. Pint, no comments? What do you mean? Just do... Why this is uppercase? Okay, let me see. Why? Maybe something better. Do we have that on the as a custom rule though? Let me see. Config, well, not here. What is the presets of this? I barely remember anything here. Factories, nope. Fixers. Okay, Laravel PHP. Do we have any custom fixing yet? We don't. Okay, well, I think we'll be pint underscore, but lowercase at least. Yep. Melok is saying dash dash shard equals to 1 out of 5. So what is 1 out of 5? So basically when you run dash dash shard equals to 1 out of 5, you are running the first portion of the test suite. But then you have concurrent workflows on your CI that are going to just run the other ones, okay? Let me try to show you that. So this is what you have to do. It's all documented, by the way, okay? So you go to, here we go. So this is what you put in your CI, basically, in your GitHub Actions. What the fuck is happening with my Safari today? Just so bad. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're back. So this is what you put in your CI, okay? I don't even know. Like, honestly, can I zoom it without you doing that? Oh, here we go. I'm going to try to zoom one last time. Okay, it worked. So basically, you go to your GitHub Actions and you have this matrix thing, okay? This will have 5 shards, meaning that GitHub Actions are going to run concurrently. Your test suite split on 5 will run the first shard in one GitHub workflow, will run the second shard in another one, will run the third shard in another one, the fourth shard in another one, and the 5th shard in another one. Effectively, splitting your test suite in 5, making it 5 times faster, okay? So that's what we sell, though, okay? You can run all those shards in parallel too, which, it's kind of cool. Agent make a sandwich, that would be nice, dude. John Sugar, what are you saying? It's already a thing on Laravel Pint, by the way. Laravel Pint will already remove superfluous types. Exactly what Luis Cruz is saying, by the way. Okay, what do we have? So we have already Pint no comments, which is good. Are you still asking for approval for every single bit? Oh, because this project is like full of stuff. Interesting. Oh, I want to do something. 1 second. I'm wondering if it removed literally all of the comments. Oh, it did not. Okay. I'm going to say no. Test this change. Oh my God, it's going crazy. All right, test this change on a simple index.php file and place that at root level. Sharding available on Windows? Yeah, it should just work. What are you doing on Windows, though? Come on, dude. It's time to do other stuff. To move to a serious operating system. By the way, talking about that, did you guys heard that Linux got literally forbidden on Florida or something like that? I actually don't get it. Like, if Linux got forbidden, how the hell they are running servers at the minute? Like, don't ask again. You didn't know that, Adrian? So basically, Linux, you are not allowed to use Linux. Oh, you don't even know that? Oh my God, you guys need to check this. What is my Safari? So Linux forbidden Florida, I think. I think it's Florida. Oh, no? Okay, there is a country who have forbidden... I think it was on US, though, right? Okay, I may be super confused. Oh, here we go. California. Okay, I was not crazy, okay? Here we go. If you have starting January 1, 2027, the law requires the OS to collect age information during the setup and share that through an API. If you don't do that, you have a fine that you have to pay. Impact on Linux. I may be super confused. Oh, okay. It's not currently forbidden to distribute Linux in California. The law comes in January 1, 2027. And the age verification mechanism needs to be implemented. This is still involved, still being discussed. So Linux is not forbidden. It's basically Linux do have to literally have that. So that's it. Yeah, it's only about age verification. I was literally confused. California is going to require the ID to use Linux, apparently. Yeah, that was a misunderstanding. I apologize. But I think the goal of this law is that every single operating system that ships within a machine needs to literally have some sort of age verification system to be able to be used. And what I have read is that the people actually implementing this law, they had multiple mistakes on the actual law itself, you know? So the theory is good, the practice is problematic. Yeah, I mean, even in Europe, I think in some point in Europe, there was requiring, like, for the age verification, literally like a passport scan or ID scan. You know, the motivations behind the reason why they are doing this, like the motivations behind are good. However, the practical implementation of actually like scanning IDs and shit is just, you know, it's kind of creepy almost. I wonder if this will apply to a VPS exactly like an actual server. So that's one of the that's what I was saying. Like, okay, let's see what we have. So we have the new comments fixer being applied. We have the rule itself, which I won't bother reading right now, but it's doing like a bunch of shit. Then we have just multiple examples, and I assume working as expected. Well, that's where we're going to find out. So if I run vendor bin pint index.php, pint index.php, well, won't fix anything. Now let's come here and actually change this stuff. So if I do this, for example, will the comment on top be removed? It got removed. So this is what I was telling you. Someone said if there is duplicated types, they will just get removed automatically. So that was like a thing before already, okay? But if I do this, it got removed. That's kind of cool though, right? And if I do this, we'll just remove the full comment. Yep. This might be have some potential, chat. We need a good name for this though. What name would you guys give this? This is not, would you guys give this name no comments? I don't know. That's nice, right? Potentially we could have something for this. I feel like we need to use a superfluous thing. Well, okay. So how would you call a rule that removes all of the comments but not the typing information? How would you call that? So if I were to go here and have a rule for that, which would start with pint something, how that rule will be called? It will remove all of the comments inside of the method. No in-function comments. Remove useless comments. That would be good for the buzz. For social media, remove useless comments. Oh my god, that would trigger people, man. That would be so nice. Honestly, I have considered moving to Linux multiple times already. Kind of would love to do it. No comments, but then that's actually true. Like, we have still typing information, you know? Like, with those comments like this, they are preserved, and they are still comments, you know? Remove monologue. Only type comments. Oh, that's actually an interesting one. Only tailored comments. Oh my god, you guys are so fun today. No useless comment. no unuseful comment. Untailorized. Okay, let me ask AI real quick. Want to discuss naming before we go further? What do you mean to go further? Well, wait a second. Need help for the rule name. So, this is a rule that removes normal comments, but keeps the typing comments. Give me 20 suggestions for this rule name. I have no comment. Tellerize comments. Remove useless. The rector rules. Oh, interesting. Oh, there is actually good names here. So we have no comments. This is the one I don't like. No pros comments. Ooh, what do you guys feel about this one? No pros comments. Then we have remove comments. No annotation. Double no, no good. Only type comments, which is the one we just saw from you guys. Annotations only. Type annotations only. This is not bad as well. So I like this. I like this and this. No plain comments is not bad either. Essential comments only. It should use AI to analyze every comment and understand what comments should say. But you want to kind of apply it massively, right? I kind of need to run this. So one cool thing about Laravel is that if you come up with a new Pint rule, you can run that rule against all the existing Laravel projects and then run the test suite. So we have massive test suites on Vapor, on Forge, on Cloud. So what we can do is that we can just do this, try it out, and then run the test suite. If the test suite passes, like, we are very confident that things are good. No essential comments. No nation comments. All right, chat, let's do a votation. Let's actually keep the ones that are good, and then we do a votation, and we decide together, okay? All right, so we have the no pros comments, which I think is good. So number 1. We have the number 2, which is type annotations only. And we have the number 3, which was no plain comments. I think that's the one we liked it, right? Yeah. We have also the minimal I like minimal. Minimal is like good one. Let's see. All right, we have 4 options, chat. You guys type the following, okay? Let me just remove this. Type on the chat 1, 2, 3, or 5, okay? So again, 1 for no pros comments, 2 for type annotations only, 3 for no plain comments, 4 for minimal comments. A lot of people liking the 2 and 4, apparently. I think the 4 is probably the most description, the most obvious, right? Type annotations only. Actually, a very good one. Yeah, the 2 is more explicit. It's I almost feel you on that one. I think I agree with you, though. Type annotations only. Right? Minimal comments is too wide, exactly. It just goes all over the place. It was just because it's badass, you know? It's just minimal, feels like good, you know? All right, let's go with type annotations only, chat. Let me just see one thing, though. Let me just go to the current preset and just try to understand if we, you know, the other ones. You know, chat, PHPCS Fixer uses this thing called PHP doc. So maybe like what we could do is type PHP doc only, or type PHP docs only, or type PHP doc only. What the fuck? It starts with a no always. It's just crazy. Type PHP doc only. Nah, it needs to be annotation. It feels weird. Type annotations only. Oh, fuck yeah. But 2 does not say that we'll remove comments. Well, we are literally just keeping the type ones, basically. That's it. Andras, I feel like the number 2 is like, we are literally saying, from the annotations, from all of them, we are going to keep only the types. That's it. You could not be more clear than this. Let's go with this one for now, and then, I mean, Taylor will just probably change it anyway, so. Can you use Pint? Just only also rename the class. Okay, I'm gonna go for edit mode. Annotations is the type, isn't? Oh no, annotations are, oh, this will be an opt-in, 100%. Annotations are like PHP docs, basically. Oh, John Sugar is saying one, which might be interesting, chat. What do you guys think about this? PHP doc type annotations only. So we would use PHP doc like the other ones. So there's some PHP doc situations here. What do you guys think about PHP doc type annotations only? Looks good? All right, let's do it. All right, change my mind. Let's go with PHP doc type annotations only. Yep, I like it. All right, I want to make something interesting, chat. I want to make something interesting. Let's actually run this and make a tweet to see what people say about it, okay? So I'm going to do the following. I'm going to just type, just open this. I'm going to type vendor bean pint. Oops, just pint, actually. And I'm going to go to an actual file of this project. Let's actually just do this on, I don't know, app, actions, and we have this fixed code or whatever. Let's run it here. So just did a bunch of stuff, apparently. We can go to the fixed code, and we see, oh, this one actually keeps the types. That's interesting. It did broken there as well, though. Okay, so I need to check that out. Let me just see here. I'm gonna go here and do this. I did a screenshot, chat, and I'm gonna just send that screenshot to the AI tool. Just noticed that this rule broke a bit indentation here. João Sousanino is asking if Third is available on Linux. I don't know. Does anyone know if Third is available on Linux? It will keep the doc block, yeah. If the doc block is needed. Ronato is saying João Sousanino go with Docker. I wouldn't, but it can go with Docker. No, I don't know why he's running the entire test suite. Let me see now. I'm gonna discard these changes, run again against that same file, and yep, still not perfect, but all right, this is enough to try to see what people think. I want to do it like in one example that actually also show off a little bit like the array implementation. You know what? Yeah, this is a very good example. Yep, let's run this against the configuration factory actually. So app, factories, configuration, factory. Okay, so I did remove that. Maybe a little bit more pretty. Here we go. I need to fix that. Let me try to make it really appealing on a screenshot. I'm gonna go here and do this. Here we go. Oh, this is PHP only. Oh no, erase that. What the fuck? Oh, here we go. Oh, right. Okay, well. All right, let's do it this way. Okay, chat. So the goal now is make a tweet to see what people think about this, okay? Because I know you guys are super on the edge, just like I am. But not everyone is like this, okay? Right. Why you don't like Docker? Because every single experience I had with Docker was just bad, so... I don't know about you guys. What do you guys use? You guys use Docker? If yes, type Docker. You guys use herd, type herd. Or if you use anything else, let me know. Valet? Oh my god, it's been like a while, dude. The last time I used Valet, it was like... I don't even know. A lot of people with Docker heard, of course, Docker as well. Pint never used Docker. That would be a good one. Just removing the Docker files. Should we do that? Honestly, like a Pint never used Docker. It will just remove the Docker files and everything related to Docker. That would be so nice. So basically, you don't use Sail? No, I don't use Sail. I use herd all the time. Can I use the excuse works on my machine? Of course you can. No, I think like, you know, a lot of people are obviously fan of Docker. I think Docker is a great option, but it's just not for me, okay? I want something that just works. And, you know, and every single experience I have with Docker, stuff will just randomly fail. And, you know, I don't want to be thinking about that. So honestly thinking about developing this Pint rule, let me just put here as opt-in, that just removes every single useless comment from your code base. It would obviously keep the typing information would obviously still keep the typing information. What do you think? Yes or yes? Laragon, what is that? Maybe you should try Sail. Yeah, the thing is that a project I work on, they are not as simple, just a use Sail. There is always like, you know, services I use, and, you know, herd is just eventually just easier to use. Let's have a clean emoji. Honestly, thinking about developing this Laravel Pint rule as an opt-in that just removes every single useless comment from your code base. It would obviously still keep the typing information. What do you think? Yes or yes? All right, let's tweet this. All right, chat. If you guys want to see this rule, make sure you retweet that, all right? I think I'm going to end up developing this anyways, because I really think I want this. This honestly looks really cool. Like just being able to go to my project, just run this rule in boom. And I think like we definitely want to keep the configuration folder needs to be kept like untouched basically. So we want to remove all the comments from everything, from every place, except the config file, the config folder, I think. That's a good point. Someone is mentioning like I want to keep the double comment thing on the boot method if empty. That's a very good point. I also want to keep that. Let me just add that to the to-do because it's actually important. So let me just revert this. So this can be revert. This can be revert, but I want to keep this. So let me just go here into configuration factory. Let me just revert this, but register. How was it called again? Oh, shit. Oh, it was here, I think. No? Maybe? Perhaps in the betweens? No, it's not here. Where was this? Oh, maybe here? Yeah, definitely here. Okay, cool. So I can just revert this real quick. As this stays, this goes away. Here we go. Typing annotations only fixer. Yeah, I think like this rule have the potential to be big, chat, honestly. The exception should be configurable actually. Oh, what do you mean? No. Everything that starts with an arroba, like anything that starts with throws, template, like var, you know, param, return, like everything that starts with the fucking arroba will still be untouched. So even though like probably we should just, you know, have an array of exceptions. Try having in ChatGPT 4.5 coding it. What do you mean? Actually, do the following. Remove this rule by default from the Laravel preset, and let me know how, and write a bunch of tests that test the edge cases of this rule. Yeah, I'm aware that with Docker you can literally set up any kind of configuration you might want, like anything really, any service and whatever. So I'm familiar with that. Luis Cruz is saying the following. For example, I have a class that uses a doc block on methods that add information that will be used later, parsed by reflection to create another stuffs. That won't be touched, dude. So something you guys may not know about PHP is the following. Let me teach you some information. So every single time you do this, this documentation right here cannot be parsed by reflection. This is not even sent to the compiler of PHP. However, if you have double codes like this, I think wait. Okay, there is something here which tells the PHP compiler that this should be parsed, and I think there is something you guys can do which tells the PHP parser that this should be actually sent. No, I'm aware you can use reflection to access the documentation. I'm aware of that. It can be parsed. However, Adrian, that is something you can do. Well, regardless, like any kind of parameter like this will be preserved, you know. But still, I'm very close to be sure that I think. Oh, okay, now I know. So this stuff is sent to the compiler. This stuff is not sent to the compiler. I think that's the rule or the general rule. I think, or I'm maybe confused, but I'm like 50-50, you know, 50% sure. Opcache removes it. Interesting. All right, Chet. There is a potential that I will actually get this shit together. Not for Laravel preset. This will be an opt-in, okay? Yeah, Upcache is dope. I think it was actually a very good addition to the PHP world, dude. A very good addition, man. In break PHP unit, what do you mean? Chat, I have to go soon, so I was lovely to be with you all today, though. It was lovely. We did a bunch of shit, including understanding skills. That's what we did. Understanding skills. We have seen what I've been up to. We have seen the new features I'm coding for Laravel. We have seen, like, literally myself coding a feature for Pint, which is good. What is he doing here? Oh, literally just outputting the custom fixers. Okay, go ahead. That was a good one. That's not me, by the way. All right, chat, time to go, man. Let's rate someone on Twitch as usual. I will be back next Friday, chat, okay? Next Friday, we are going to be back with some crazy stuff, hopefully, okay? 50 people on Twitch. You guys are so awesome, man, honestly. Okay, next Friday, we are going to be back with some more amazing content. Let's rate someone as usual. As a reminder, rating someone on Twitch, meaning sending all my viewership to a different person. So let's make sure we do that, all right, chat? Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, boom, boom. Who do we have coding? Do we have anyone doing PHP, chat? Anyone we love? Oh, my Twitch is just basically Counter-Strike people. Jesus Christ. Well, not PHP. How about Laravel? Do we have anyone doing Laravel? Not really. We have literally no one coding. Is this even possible, chat? Thank you, man. Thank you for being here today. By the way, chat, don't forget, before you guys leaving, go all the way down and click like on this video, okay? That's super important. It means the world to me, too. Click like on this video, man, so this video gets suggested to the entire planet. Why the hell I cannot find anyone streaming it, man? Search for AI streams. That's really a very good point. How do I search? Oh, here we go. Let's actually search on the software game development category as usual. People developing game. Oh my god, nobody's doing shit. Everyone is vibe coding. Oh, we have a stream from AWS. Should we rate them? Agentic AWS microservices. I'm going to rate AWS, chat. Let's do the following. Let's rate AWS and just put the emoji PHP all over the place. Should we do that? No, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Don't. I didn't say that, all right? So I revert back my decision of doing that. Don't do that. Okay? So hilarious. All right, let's rate AWS, chat. If they have rates enabled, I don't even know. We're about to find out. AWS. Oh, they do. All right, here we go. About to send 50 PHP developers to AWS stream. Chat, that was an awesome live stream, you know. I love you all so much. I catch you guys next Friday, okay? That was awesome. See you next Friday. Peace out. Bada boo. That really didn't work. Like, what the fuck? Oh, they don't allow raids at AWS. That's interesting. Well, we cannot raid AWS, chat. Yep. They don't allow raids, so we may have to raid someone else. We are going to raid, man. Like, honestly. PHP. I may search for JavaScript soon if we don't see anyone doing anything, really. JavaScript. Let's see. Nobody also. Jesus Christ. All right. I'm going to raid the same person as last time, I think. How do I close this? Oh, here you go. All right, chat. Let's rate someone doing C. All right? All right, chat. Love you all. Now for real. Catch you guys next time. Peace out. Boom.